Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
And welcome to the show, guys. This is the How Did They Grow podcast. And today we have on Mike Good. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mike Good from Manchester, New Hampshire in the United States. I've owned a one-to-one personal training studio for 15 years. This past year, I started an online component to it. And in 1 year, I hope to franchise Good Training or a version of Good Training.
Amazing. What do you mean by franchise? How do you just break that down?
So I have an idea. So like I said, I've been one-to-one personal training for 15 years. I've seen a lot of businesses come and go, a lot of small group training, a lot of CrossFit training come and go. So I know a lot of what they do wrong and what I've done right. And I think I have a model that hasn't been done yet and could work. I don't see it as being like a Planet Fitness like franchise that's everywhere. But maybe, one or two per state, maybe just in the United States. I don't know. Mainly for personal trainers that still love personal training on in person, but want to do some online. And also, mainly, it should feel, if done right, it should feel like a part-time job. So they own the business. They still get to one-to-one personal train because it's what they love to do. And they only work 25 hours a week. And with the model, they should make multiple six figures. So that's the idea.
Amazing. So let me kind of get an understanding. When you say you said franchise it, right? Is it that you're going to be teaching other personal trainers how to do it?
Yeah, right. Yep. Right now, I coach some trainers that are interested in starting their own business. They might work at a big box gym or for a big company, and they want to try to go out on their own. So I'll coach them on a one-to-one basis, just the way I train my clients on a one-to-one basis. And I mainly do a free consultation with them to see what they're currently doing and what they want to do. And before I charge them anything, I make sure I can help them. And then if I can help them, we go from there.
Amazing. So I'm just trying to make sure the viewers understand. So the big plan is you have this model, you've been able to do it successfully. So you're trying to come in and replicate that in the lives of other coaches who love to do the same thing you love to do, basically.
Yeah, and the franchise idea is a little bit different than what I'm currently doing or what I've done for the past 15 years. It has to do with just a certain population, like 55 to 85, like the baby boomer population, and just focusing on that demographic, that group of people. And I think it's going to be called something like Silver Linings, where, there's nothing out there that's really focused to that group. And that's the biggest population right now is the, the baby boomer generation is growing. So there's a ton of them, and they're all retired and they want to live an active life. And all the baby boomers I train, they sign up, and as long as I'm a trainer, they're coming in. So I've trained most of them, all my 55 to 85-year-olds, anywhere from 7 to 14 years. So once they sign up, they stay. So it's a model where you're not going to have to do much advertising or networking or anything like that. As long as you're very good at your job, you should be able to keep your clients.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And obviously you've been in the business for tons of years. So like you've nailed it in terms of all the ins and outs.
Yeah. That being said, the other component of that would be the online training. So it's going to be a combination of in-person one-to-one training, online training, and all the recovery stuff, especially for the older people. They definitely need that. Like, have you heard of red light therapy?
No. Red body?
No. Yeah, red light therapy. It's they say it's good for everything, but I've noticed it's really good for like inflammation, and you should look it up after this.
Sure, let me look it up right now. Red body therapy.
Red light therapy. It's they say it's good for everything. You don't have hair, it's going to grow hair. You have bad skin, you're going to get better skin. But I don't know how true those are, but I know I'm pretty sure it helps with muscle recovery. So that's what I use it for in my studio. So I have a whole side of the business that's just recovery, like zero gravity massage chairs, assisted stretching, people doing the assisted stretching, the red light therapy, and the infrared saunas.
Amazing. So you're basically, I found it, but I don't know if it's it's like a lot of red light and you just lay down on the thing and the light I'm seeing a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. Just read the benefits, put like benefits of red light therapy.
I'll do that.
Just so you can see what it's used for.
You're trying to implement that into your system as well.
What's that?
I said you're trying to implement that into your system as well.
Right.
Amazing. Let me kind of get into your life and how you started all this. So you got out of, just tell us. Let me not do any guessing. Tell us, how did you get into personal training and why did you decide to go in? How did you get into lifting and why did you decide to go into coaching? So yeah.
When I was real young, I was just my genetics. I was a skinny kid, and you always hear about people overweight getting picked on, but I was skinny to the point where I was picked on all the time, and I couldn't stand it. And my dad had a weight room in the house growing up, and I would watch him. And I think by the sixth grade, I started using the weight room. And as soon as I figured out I could put on some size lifting weights, and I probably wouldn't get teased anymore, I pretty much just stayed in the weight room until I gained some weight. So that was the initial attraction. That, I played sports in school, and our coaches would tell us to work out in the off season and stuff. And I just got so into the off season stuff, the workouts. At one point, the coaches would just ask me to run the off season practices, like all the agility stuff, all the workouts. Yeah. So I to tell you the truth, I became more into the working out than the sports that I played. So, it was, right away. So I would say 15 years old is when I started. And then, as soon as I was 16 and some guys noticed that I had been lifting weights, and they were like, "Hey, what have you been doing?" And I didn't get picked on anymore. I kind of like that. Once I saw the reaction of some people, I was definitely hooked.
Yeah, amazing story. I have sort of a similar journey myself. With me it was the opposite side. Being bigger and being picked on. So I got to lifting, and I got to losing the weight and everything. So yeah, it definitely once you start doing it and you see what comes with it, you definitely get hooked.
Yeah, it's definitely it feels worth it. And I think what I preach to all my clients now is you have to have a different reason besides the way you look, losing weight or gaining weight. Mm-hmm. If you can do it because you see the mental health benefits, that's what's going to make you stick with it. Like, that's what's made me stick with it. If I go 3 days without working out, I'm depressed as fuck. Like, I'm just super down. I have anxiety. I'm depressed. But as long as I get a workout in, yeah, exactly. But as long as I get a workout in, I'm fine. You know? So I never let 3 days go by, because I know what could happen is I would turn to probably drinking or something like that to deal with depression and anxiety. And, you know, all I have to do is get in, 30 minutes of a workout and I'm fine. Like, I go from severely depressed to I'm fine. So it's worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely really relate to that, you know. Let me kind of get into, so when did the coaching start and what started it? Was it like the usual story is, you know, I'm helping friends?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, you got it. Even at 16 years old, people would just start asking me questions. So every time I'd be in the gym, it was like people would stop me. You know, I remember it bothering me a little bit because I couldn't get my workout in. But I also really liked helping people. And, you know, if something I said resonated with them and they tried it and it worked and they came back and they said, hey, thank you for giving me that advice. I was like, wow, that kind of, that feels really good. So now I get to spend, all day helping people, which being on the floor 1-to-1 with people is, I wouldn't really want to replace that with anything, because I get that, I still get that high from helping people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, the thing with fitness is you're not just helping someone, make some more money. You're changing someone's life,
Yeah. And it's very cool to see how fitness can change someone's life in so many positive ways. Whether it's just getting off medications, watching their job get better, watch their relationships get better. And, for them to thank you for that is huge. You know what I mean? It feels good.
Definitely. Let me kind of ask you then. I don't assume you were much of a business guy growing up. So what were some of the struggles you had in terms of business and monetizing the coaching itself up until now?
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
Yeah. So how I got even into business was when I started, like 25 years ago, there was just one big gym in town, which was Gold's Gym. And I started as a personal trainer there. And then I realized you can't make a lot of money as a personal trainer in a big gym. So I completely got out of personal training and I went into mortgages, like real estate. And I made a lot of money early on, like 24, 25 years old. But then there was a big economic crash and in like 07, 08. And I realized chasing money wasn't exactly for me. Making money is important, but it wasn't the most important thing. I made a decision then. I just want to do what I want to do. And I want to do it for myself. So I didn't even think like I want to start this big business or anything like this. I just wanted to not have a boss and make as much money as possible doing what I love to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as I was doing what I love to do, it didn't matter how much money I was making. As long as I could pay rent.
Pay rent and you get the time to bang weights and like change people's lives. You're good, man.
Right. So as long as I was doing what I love to do, I just didn't care. So shortly after I started my personal training studio, I mainly train business owners. Those are the people that that really see the value in one-to-one personal training. You know, business owners, they're smart people. You know, they're gonna pay money for what works. Do you know what I mean? Like they see the value in the training, it works, so they have no problem spending the money. So I've mainly learned everything from my clients. And I had a couple big time business owners locally that funded my first personal training studio. So that's how I got started. Amazing. And then you know, all these business owners would give me advice and tell me what books to read and how to grow my business. About the third year in business, I stepped out of personal training and I was working on my business, not in my business. I was doing everything that they told me to do, and it was working great. And if you really want to be a business owner, that's the way you should do it. And I took all the steps. I had about 5 or 6 employees. It was to the point where I didn't even know what to do with my time. Like I think I kept 1 or 2 clients. What's that?
You were having so much free time because you optimized the systems. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes. But this is my own personal. This is the way I felt about it, and this is not popular what I'm about to say. But I don't know if I was just young. I was like 30, 31, 32, and I started playing a lot of golf, and I felt like my job was a little bit of marketing, a little bit of advertising, and adult babysitting. Like I really felt like my job was adult babysitting. And most of my business owner friends and clients were like, "Yep, that's what it is. You spend your time babysitting and putting out fires." And I was just miserable. Miserable. Like I didn't want to play golf. I wanted to train people. Like I still loved it. So I went in one day and fired everyone and went back to, I know this is super unpopular. Like, I mean, I had, hold on. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, bro.
Okay.
Camera's off.
Yeah. So I went from having, 5 or 6 employees to,
off.
What's that?
I think your camera's off. I can't see you now. Can it be me?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I can see you now.
Now I can't see you.
So you fired everybody. Now you can't see me?
Yeah. No. Can you see me still?
I can see you. So if I can see you, then it's good. Don't worry about me. It will record on my end.
Okay. Yeah. So I went in one day.
Fired everybody in one morning.
Yeah. What's that?
I said you fired everybody in one morning.
Yep. And I started just personal training everyone. I think I went from 0 appointments to about 100 appointments a week. and then I found, and then COVID happened. I mean, you remember COVID, and that killed my business. So I had at that time I had 2 or 3 employees. I was training as much as I wanted to. The business, all the systems was running very smoothly. Everything was great. And then COVID happened and it completely shut down my business. Like, and then when we were allowed to open again, it was like starting from scratch. And I would say this last year was the first year I came close to doing anything near what I was doing before COVID. So it's taken a while to rebuild. I'm sure you've heard some of that, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Amazing. So what do you think was let's get into some of the business stuff. What do you think was the main factor for you for last year to be able to get you back to those numbers?
To tell you the truth, like after COVID, I don't know. I don't know if it was just I had some of the government money they gave out and I got lazy. And I just wasn't, which was stupid. It was about the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. I didn't implement any. I didn't implement any of the systems that I had before COVID. I was really just half. I went through a divorce, so I was just kind of half-assing it. And probably last year was the first year that I went back and looked at everything I was doing, all my systems and everything that I was doing before COVID, and I started implementing them again. And then I moved my studio. And yeah, I just got back to what I was doing, and it's been good since. And this year I should I should at least match those numbers, if not do better than before COVID.
Oh, so you're trying to do? Let me see, 500K a year?
I wish, man. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not knocking it out of the park, but it was like. Mainly what I did is I figured I wanted to make 6 figures. That was my goal. And as long as I made like $10,000 to $12,000 a month, as long as that's what I brought home, I was comfortable. And I have 2 kids. So my main goal was to make my schedule so that I had time with my kids. So as long as I could make my 10 or 12 grand and have time with my kids, I just stopped. Do you know what I mean? Where business owners should keep trying to grow, right?
Yeah.
And that's definitely been my downfall. I get to a certain point and I'm like, I'm good. And then I just stop. I stop marketing. I stop advertising. I stop working hard. I just stay. And, 10 to 12 grand, 5 or 6 years ago, even a couple years ago, was good. Yeah. Now I think I need to make 20. So that's 30. The new, 20 is the new goal. Yeah. So 20 grand a month, like $250 a year, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you said, man, it doesn't only happen in business. It happens in the gym as well. You could get to a point in your physique where you're not where you want to be. You're not at the body fat percentage you want to be, but it's okay. You're still talking to women. You're still getting compliments in the gym. It's like, so you get complacent and then you kind of, deteriorate. You know what I mean? Same thing happens. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't watch it, you're right. You get complacent and then you can start sliding back. And then sometimes before it's too late, like you got to catch it before it's too late. Right.
Yeah. That's kind of
I do the same thing with my physique. I mean, for me to look any different than what I look like now at 46 years old, like it's way too much work. Like, my diet has to be way too strict. So I mainly just try to maintain at this point. I try to be fit. But I mean, I can maintain 8 to 10% body fat, and I eat probably, my diet's okay. 80% of the time I eat pretty clean. 20% of the time I eat whatever I want. But the idea is to do it long-term for the rest of my life. And that's what I try to teach my clients. Don't kill yourself. Don't go all in and then quit, and then you're going to hate it, and then you're going to get fatter than you were before you even started. So I try to kind of implement that 80-20 rule with them. And I have 2 goals for all my clients. Number 1, help them hit their goals when they come in. But number 2 is get them to the point where they figured out what works for them and how they can do it long term. For the rest of their life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sustainability is important. This is the most important thing. Because if you can do it long term, no matter how small it is, no matter how small the difference is, no matter how small the calorie deficit is, as long as you can do it long term, the results are going to come regardless. Right.
Same thing with business, right? Same thing with business.
Yes.
As long as every day you're putting in some type of effort. Which, no bullshit, I just really wasn't for, I was training my clients. I was making sure they were good, but that was it. And
that was it.
Yeah, which was very dumb. But this year, last year, at the end of last year, I did pretty good. I worked on it. This year, I'm working on it, pretty harder than ever, I would say. And I'm really starting to implement social media, which I should have done, 5 or 10 years ago. I use social media a little bit, but now I'm starting to really use it. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V, yeah, I know Gary V. I know him.
Yeah, I feel like the guy's yelling at me every day. Get on the fucking internet. Get on social media, you idiot. So I feel like he's yelling directly at me. Like, I know. So finally I'm doing it. And it works. You know.
Yeah, that's what.
As long as you do it, it works.
We know. Yeah.
Right.
Let me kind of ask you, that 20K, push it to 30K a month mark that you're trying to get to. What's the most important thing for you? Is it getting more clients for your fitness, or is it getting more students for the good training method? I'm curious.
So I would say a little bit of both. But like, I don't even, myself personally, I don't take over 25 clients. And then I usually, with the model, you should have probably 2 employees. So, and usually I pay them like 50%. So right now I have 1 employee. And she has like 5 clients. So if I could get her up to, 15 to 20 clients, and then if I could get, the private coaching clients, I could probably handle like 5 to 10 a month. But again, I don't want to spread myself too thin, because then you burn out. Then all of a sudden you hate what you're doing, and then that shows.
Exactly. So does that mean you're gonna leverage, because the training for the good training, the thing is it trademark, what you said? That's gonna be more online, right?
So that's the thing. Like, I know with online, I can grow a lot more, and it won't take up my time. So that's going to be the second part of the business is having the online portion. Maybe spend 5 to 10 hours a week on that, but I could handle another 20 to 30 clients, right? Because it really takes up no time. But my opinion on the you're not gonna like this, but my opinion on the online training is, I don't know, all these trainers are like, you want to free up your time, and you want to have more time, and you don't want to trade time for dollars. And I'm just thinking, if I was independently wealthy, I would fucking train people. That's what I would do for fun. Like, that's how much I like it. I like spending my time training people. So you're telling me what you want to do is just send a few emails, and then what? And then what are you doing with your time, man? Like, are you drinking all day? Like, I don't know. Like, what? Like, do you know what I mean? You got to spend your time doing something, right? And I really still like spending my time training people. That being said, I do see the amount of money that you can make with the online training. And it doesn't seem, I'm not a pro at the online training. I have just started it the past 2 years. I have like 5 or 10 online clients, but it's you mainly give them a program, give them a diet, and say, good luck, Johnny. You know what I mean? And my experience with that is they don't do it. That being said, I know there are people that do. So maybe there's some coaches online that are having success with that, and their clients are actually doing what they say. I hope to find more of those people, because so far I've found, what I found in the past. If you just see people once a month, they're not going to do it. My successful clients, I see 3 to 5 times a week,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think for you, like, since you love to do the training, the course, like the training for your thing that you said you're going to patent, what did you call it? The good training program, the good training, what did you call it?
Yeah, I'm going to, the baby boomer thing that like the
Yes,
thing I want to
yes,
franchise?
yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
called Silver
franchise.
Linings. Yeah,
Silver
Silver
lining.
Linings.
So you're going to be training people, right? Is that going to be online? You're going to be training people on how to do what you do, right?
Yeah, so like I'll spend some of my time opening franchises, right? And teaching them all of it, teaching them the everything. Like have someone like you guys handling the advertising. That's when I would really need, help with that. Like have like a company like you help with the advertising, get the one-to-one clients, but also get the online clients as well. So, make it all part of the business.
Yeah. I think for you, like, you love the training, and that's amazing. So leveraging that, since you don't want to do online, and leveraging that silver lining thing to be an online thing, because you're training trainers, right? I want to be clear, like
Yeah.
you're training trainers. Exactly. So that can be online, and you can still have your time to train people in person. That's just what I'm thinking in terms of, since you don't want to do the online coaching, you want to have that personal touch. You can do that, double down on that. Have your calendar full of people, like, have your calendar full of inclined people, but you're still doing your silver lining thing, which is gonna back this in terms of funding because it's online.
Right. Yeah. So you're saying train the coaches online?
Yeah, that's like from what you're saying, because like obviously I speak to a lot of people, like, you don't want to do the online coaching, and it's understandable. It's not your thing, but you can train coaches online.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want the online coaching to be part of the business. You're right. Do I want to do a lot of it? No. I mean, I can handle some, but the idea is to have my employees do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Amazing. So let's kind of get into your journey with the social media. You said you're trying to go hard this year. What have you been doing, and what are you trying to do more so the audience can kind of benefit?
So mainly I'm just making videos talking about client journeys, client success, my journey, my success, just little clips, right? Of, just talking about those things. And I find the more you make it personal, and I really found, as much as I don't love doing it, like I've been on a couple reality shows and back in the day in my 20s, like TV commercials and stuff like that. But that shit's all like scripted, and it's like, it's different than doing it like raw dogging it, putting your phone up and just doing it, you know what I mean? So
definitely.
So I don't love it, but just like anything, I mean, just like starting working out, it sucks at first, but the more you just do it, so I've just been doing more and more of it, and just putting those videos out and targeting your local community. Pretty much every advertising guy or agency, they require you to start spending $1,000 just in the ad spend. And I'm like, Jesus, I get clients online just spending $50 to $100. You know what I mean? So I was like, before I'm gonna hire anyone, I'm gonna spend $1,000 a month on me, and see how I do. And I think I spent $300 last month, and I got 4 clients. Do you know what I mean? Which
new clients.
Yeah, which added up to like $2,500 a month. You know what I mean? So it does work. You just have to. I think what you have to do is really personalize it, and then be willing to spend the money, right?
Amazing. When you say personalize, I'm assuming you mean like your voice in terms of who you're targeting, who you're talking to, right? Is that what you mean?
Right. Yeah. Like mainly, like really like talk to your audience, and then talk about what's actually happening in your studio. Do you know what I mean? That's what people want to hear. not just some generic information, you know, or not like, hey, this is how you do a bicep curl, which, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can just find that shit anywhere. So I think it's like really make it personal, make it your brand, I guess, right?
Exactly. And I love what you said, because it's the same thing. Everyone is out here doing, 3 tips to get abs, how to get jacked in 30 days. It's like
there's just so much of this.
Yeah. Exactly. You get that stuff for free on YouTube. Someone's gonna buy from you because they like you, because they like your story, because they like your journey, your brand.
That's it. Yeah. You know what I do like though is some of those fitness guys that do some funny shit. Like I don't know. Like some of them is cheesy as hell, and they shouldn't do it.
Like who?
But some of them pull it off.
Like what?
I like watching that stuff.
Like what? I'm trying to. What are some examples you got at the top of your head?
God, I can't. To tell you the truth, I can't even think of any. Probably just guys making fun of other fitness influencers, or like mimicking. You know what I mean? Or like mimicking them. And then there's that one guy with all the tattoos that does the bro science stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Nipple?
I don't know. I can't think of his name. It could be. I don't know. I'm so bad at names. Yeah. I can picture him. He's just always saying funny shit about lifting. Jeff is one of the. Yeah.
Is he bald?
He's one of your clients? No.
Oh, no, I said, is he bald?
He's got tattoos all over.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not bald.
Okay, I can't really. Amazing. Yeah, so like social media is like finding your voice and everything. What would you kind of say to someone because like in our audience, we got a lot of young coaches, young entrepreneurs. When I say young, I don't mean age. I mean, time in the industry. They want to start doing the social media thing, but they're just, either hesitant or skeptical, or is it worth my time, or what's going to happen if, I'm not getting the views and I'm spending 30 minutes making a video, but I'm getting 70 views and all that. What would you kind of say to them?
Right. I think the first thing is just be very clear on what you're trying to do. And then don't overthink it. Just start. Just do it. And expect it to be bad. Expect it to be, like, my videos are bad. They're not good. Like, but like with everything, hopefully if I keep doing it, they'll get better. And I've had okay responses so far, and I think they're terrible. So an okay response is great. And if I'm getting anything from my initial stuff that feels like just practice, I think that once I get good at it, it'll just get better. So just my advice would be, don't overthink it. Just start. Just do it. And as bad as you think it is, and if you're only getting 3 to 5 likes, just keep doing it. And if you really think it's not going to work, give yourself a time frame. Tell yourself you're going to do it for 6 months. Just keep your head down, do it every day for 6 months, and then figure out what you want to do.
Amazing. I think we've kind of come, full circle here. What is one thing you wish I asked you on this podcast?
I really think you covered everything. So do you mainly just interview people that are doing online, not in person?
Yeah, so our thing is like we want to bring people on who are doing online and who have been able to break past that 10K mark with the online. So yeah, they can share their stuff with our audience.
Yeah, that's something I want to do, but I have to, number one, I have to get the employees first. So that's where I'm struggling, because like you said, you can tell I don't want to do it. So I have to have employees, you know what I mean, to handle that.
Yeah.
Right now I handle like 5 or 10 online clients, and that's enough for me. So then if I get any more, it's gonna have to be my staff.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna scale, man. Online potentials are crazy.
So
let me just ask you this to kind of.
Yeah.
You want to say something? You want to?
So do you just do podcasts with like fitness people or?
No, entrepreneurs in general. But we work in terms of our work and what we do. Yeah, we do it for business owners, fitness people, coaches, consultants. That's people we work with in terms of our clientele. Yeah. Who's
like some of your most successful ones? Can you give me an example of some successful ones that you helped?
Yeah, definitely. You want to do it off camera, or you want to? I don't finish the podcast.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
All right, man. Let's finish the podcast. I'll show you everything. No problem. Where can the people go to find and learn more about what you do? Maybe sign up with you.
Yeah, it's goodtrainingnh.com.
Good Training NH. Okay, yeah, New Hampshire. Amazing. Yeah. What about the Instagram?
It's Mike Good Training NH.
Mike Good Training NH. All right, this has been amazing. You think?
I think.
All right, man. This has been amazing. I'll definitely look it up, and we'll put your tags in and everything. This has been amazing, man. Hopefully we can have you on some other time. Maybe when you get to those 30K marks with online, come bring you on.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Amazing.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?